Welcome back to Amber Radio. Lean back, completely relax your shoulders, and take a deep, slow breath. Feel the crisp, pure mountain air expanding in your chest, washing away every ounce of weariness. Tonight, Amber will take you away from the sun-drenched sands of Key West and guide you northward. We are riding inside a sleek 1940 Chevrolet, its wheels turning effortlessly along the Blue Ridge Parkway on a misty morning in the year 1947. Look out the window. The car is gliding through craggy gardens, the highest and most breathtaking crest of the parkway. The world outside looks like a wet watercolor painting that has yet to dry. Massive boulders along the roadside are blanketed in deep, damp green moss, heavy with morning dew. Wild rhododendron bushes cling to the cliffs, their blossoms bowed under the weight of the night mist. On the other side of your window, a bottomless valley stretches out, now completely filled with a rolling sea of white clouds. The fog is dense, glowing with a faint, smoke-like blue tint as it weaves through the towering, ancient pine trees. Tiny beads of condensation gather on the glass, pooling together and slowly sliding down in long streaks. Our car gently parts the mist as it moves forward, slow and unhurried, as if time itself had stopped here centuries ago. The car stops before the grand entrance of the Grove Park Inn. Take in this architectural masterpiece. Its walls are not built from uniform bricks, but from tens of thousands of massive, rugged boulders, roughly hewn directly from the slopes of the Appalachian Mountains. The ancient oak trees surrounding the courtyard have shed their autumn leaves, leaving dark, slender branches reaching gracefully into the morning fog. As we step through the heavy oak doors, the chill of the mountains instantly retreats. Before us lies a majestic stone lobby, and in the corner stands a monumental fireplace nearly 4 meters tall. Great logs of aged pine burn brightly, releasing a thin ribbon of pleasantly fragrant resin smoke and a cheerful crack, crack sound. Amber leads you to a rustic wooden table by a wide window overlooking the cloud-veiled valley, where a traditional 1947 mountain breakfast awaits. Resting before you is a plate of handmade, freshly baked biscuits. The round biscuit features a deeply golden, flaky crust, but when Amber gently breaks it apart with her hands, the interior is snow white, pillowy soft, and releases a cloud of warm steam. Amber drizzles a generous ladle of thick, rich sausage gravy over it, made from fresh milk and heavily perfumed with cracked black pepper. Beside it sit slices of pan-fried mountain apples, tender and caramelized into a glistening layer of golden syrup, exhaling a rich aroma of cinnamon. Take a sip of warm tea. Feel the buttery richness, the deep, savory saltiness of the country ham, and the sweet warmth of the apples melt across your palate, warming your body from the inside out. As midday approaches, the fog atop the peaks gradually dissolves, revealing a sky of brilliant, clear blue. Warm strands of honey-like sunlight pour down upon Pack Square in the heart of downtown Asheville. The scene here in 1947 feels like a vintage Technicolor film. Walkways paved with deep red bricks, worn smooth by decades of footsteps, hand-painted shop signs with faded coats of lacquer, and elegant, round-fendered cars parked along the curb. In the crisp afternoon air, the savory aroma of wood smoke drifts from historic smokehouses lining the street. Our lunch is served on a rustic wooden platter. Hickory-Smoked BBQ, the pride and culinary heritage of North Carolina. Look at the large cut of meat. Its outer layer features a dark, beautifully charred bark that has absorbed the rich essence of hickory smoke for over 10 hours. When you press down gently with your fork, the pink, ruby-colored meat inside is so tender that it falls apart on its own, glistening with natural juices under the sunlight. Amber drizzles a splash of tangy, vinegar-based southern sauce over it. Take a bite alongside a piece of crumbly, golden cornbread. The natural sweetness of the pork pairs flawlessly with the deep, threnodic smoke flavor, while the sharp tang of the sauce awakens your senses, bringing a profound feeling of comfort and peace. In the afternoon, our car takes us deep into the expansive grounds of the Biltmore Estate, the largest private home in America. Passing down a long avenue shaded by centuries-old oak trees, the French Renaissance-style chateau appears majestically. Its intricately carved stone walls and sharp, towering spires piercing the evening mist that is beginning to settle. After years of being closed during the war to secretly shelter the nation's priceless art treasures, the castle stands here today, silent and revered under the twilight of 1947. Amber leads you into the monumental library. The dark oak floors are polished to a high wax finish, reflecting the dimming light that pours through the towering arched windows. All around us are floor-to-ceiling shelves holding tens of thousands of leather-bound volumes, filling the air with the comforting scent of old paper and vintage ink. We sit at a small stone table on the balcony, watching the geometric French gardens slowly submerge into the cold evening mist. Resting on a gold-rimmed porcelain plate is a slice of Appalachian Apple Stack Cake. Observe its beautiful craftsmanship. 7 thin, cake-like layers meticulously stacked on top of one another. Spreading between each layer is a spiced filling made from wild, late-harvest apples, slow-cooked with cinnamon, ginger, and molasses for hours, until thick and jammy. As you cut a delicate piece, the dark apple filling seeps into the soft cake. Bring it to your lips, the deep, rich sweetness and the fragrant warmth of ginger and cinnamon perfectly soothe your senses against the falling mountain chill. Night falls completely, swallowing the distant peaks and wrapping the great estate in an absolute, sacred silence. We retreat to a cozy, private room warmed by its own quartz-stone fireplace. Outside the window, rows of ancient Fraser firs and pines swayed gently in the mountain wind, creating a steady, rhythmic rustling that sounds like the ocean waves of the great forest, a perfect white noise for sleep. From the distant valley below, the rustic sound of a banjo and a fiddle begins to drift through the air. This is the authentic, old-time bluegrass music of 1947. The banjo plucks each note slowly, clear and translucent like falling drops of dew, while the fiddle draws out long, soulful melodies that feel as old as the hills themselves. The music does not rush. It flows at the very pace of the mountain's breath. It weaves through the faint pine smoke, gently wrapping around your mind and releasing every remaining worry of the modern world. Rest your head deeper into the soft feather pillow, pulling the thick, warm wool blanket up to your chest. The fire in the hearth is beginning to dim, leaving only a bed of glowing red embers that radiate a soft, gentle warmth to protect the room. Outside, the mist has completely claimed the pathways, isolating us in a sanctuary of pure peace. Amber radios journey through North Carolina draws to a quiet close. But when you awaken in another dimension, amber will take your hand once more, leaving these misty ridges behind to explore a new land, a place of deep colonial history and grand red brick estates glowing under the candlelight of Virginia. But for now, let the mountain wind, the fading fire, and the rustic melodies of Appalachia guide you into a deep, beautiful sleep. Good night, my dear companion.